Uh, Welcome, everybody. This is the 17th episode of our weekly AI and digital marketing free live demos. And today we are going to talk about Chatbot, and it's an AI agent. We have agents, when it comes to AI, when we talk about agent, we are talking about AIs that can function just like human beings. They don't just do one thing, just like a chatbot that will only answer one thing and that's it. This one, when we talk about an agent is an AI that can perform functions just like a human being. So this one is going to be a 24/7 AI receptionist, and that is going to book appointments and make sure that your leads are getting on your calendar in order for you to talk to them. And you want to do this automatically because it's a lot if you have to do this manually. So this is going to be the demo for today's live session. And so without wasting any time, let's get into it and let's share the let me share the slides. So for today, what we are going to talk about is going to be every missed call is a lost client, right? The title for today is Every Missed Call is a Lost Client. And Go High Level AI Booking Bot solves that kind of problem. And so when we talk about missed calls are opportunities. These are potential clients that need your service or need your product. And so when you are missing calls, that is a lot of money you are leaving on the table. And sometimes it might not be just deliberate, but you might be busy with other clients on the phone, or it might be off hours, and when people call you and they don't get you, guess what's going to happen? The next person who answers their call is going to pick that client from you. And so it's very, very important that you automate this process in your workflow so that you can capture all the leads that you miss. Most often than not, these are customers who are already looking for you. So you didn't go and pay money to get them, right? These are clients that belong to you, kind of. And so you want to make sure that you get them on the phone, you get them to book an appointment with you so that you can provide your service to them. And as usual, yours truly, Eric Bakes. I'm going to be your instructor for the next 50 minutes or so. So let's get into it. Most businesses miss more leads than they realize. And according to the statistics, 60% of inbound leads goes unanswered. So a lot of calls that you are getting, 6 out of all those 10 calls that you are getting are not being answered. And let's add a value to how much one missed call will cost you, right? So let's say, for instance, if you are a dentist or you are a service provider, let's say a plumber or electrician, if you missed a call, how much does it cost you? The average cost of um, your leads, right? How much does it cost you? So if let's say it's a $300 per service and you are losing 6 of them out of 10 calls, that is 6 times 3, that is 18. That is 1800 you are leaving on the table for every 10 calls that you miss. So if you are getting about 100 calls in a day, then guess how much you are losing, right? That is 60 times 300, and that is going to be about 18,000. It adds up, and a lot of people don't even realize how much they are losing by just losing calls and having so many people on the call. If you have like 3 concurrent calls and you cannot answer the fourth, fifth, and sixth, guess how much you are losing? So you want to make sure that you automate this with an AI so that you can capture as many leads as you can. And 78% of buyers buy the first time if they are able to get you on the phone or they are able to book an appointment on your calendar. So these are numbers. The numbers don't lie. It says that 60% of leads or calls don't get answered, and 78% of the people who call and get a chance to speak with somebody right away, 80%, 78% of them ends up being customers. And the average response time for humans or for most businesses is 2 hours. Guys, 2 hours, the customer is gone, right? It takes only about 5 minutes for them to forget about you. If somebody comes to your website or somebody picks up your phone and makes that call, the moment they don't get anybody to talk to after 5 minutes, they're gone. Even when they book on your appointment calendar, sometimes after 5 minutes, if you don't follow up with them, they are gone. These days, the attention span is gone. So you want to make sure that you are always in front of your lead or your customers. Otherwise, somebody else is going to snatch them away from you. So that is that. Every missed call is equals to a missed revenue. So if you are getting 10 calls a day and the average value of your service or your product is $300, you just have to do the math, multiply that. If it costs, if you charge $500, you multiply that by that number of calls that you are missing, and you don't know what you don't know. And if you are not quantifying all these missed calls, then you don't even know how much you are losing. So make sure that you are taking inventory of all your metrics, all your numbers, so that you know when you are not hitting some of your milestones. And one of those things is to make sure that you know how many calls you are getting every day. So each unanswered call will let you know how much you are losing. An average deal of, let's say, $300, if you are losing this much, it's going to cost you about $30,000 in a month. And so this is serious, guys. A lot of people don't know how much money they are leaving on the table. So pay attention to this part, because most of these leads are leads that you've already gotten, right? They saw your ad and they are interested in your service. So their impression, they saw your ad, you've already paid for them. And so when they come to your funnel and they make a call and they don't get you or you don't answer, that is gone. You've already paid for this, and now you've lost them to another competition. So make sure that you pay attention to that. And humans cannot compete with speed, right? There's so much we can do at a time. You are not an octopus with so many hands, and you can only do one or two things at a time, right? So you cannot respond 24/7. We usually start work 9 to 5. What happens after 5? Between 7 p.m. to, let's say, 5 a.m. in the morning, what's going to happen if somebody is on the other side of the globe and they are flying home, and it's daytime for them. Let's say they are in India or they are in Singapore, and it's during the day over there. They're flying into the United States. They want a service. They come to your website. It might be night over here, but once they get onto your website, they can talk to an AI, schedule an appointment. By the time they get to the United States, they are already all set up and ready to talk to you. So this is why you want to have an AI agent that can work 24/7. And also, staff is very expensive, right? If you have a human being that you have to pay, let's assume that you are paying this VA, maybe $10, $5, $7 an hour. They are going to work like maybe 8 hours in a day, plus, multiply that by, let's say, 5 days. All this adds up, and they are still going to take vacation. They have family, they have life, so they are going to fall sick, and all these things makes it very expensive, and at the same time, it makes it very impossible for humans to compete with AI. And leads also come in after hours, as I just said, and so, or during meetings and when you are very busy. So this having this AI in place helps you to make sure that everybody who contacts your business is being taken care of, and it's very, very important. The faster you respond to your leads or your customers, the better retention that you have. And so for this demo, we are going to demo how Go High Level, which is a CRM tool, customer relationship management tool that helps you to do this. And most of you who have been coming on these calls, you know that Go High Level is one of the best CRM tools out there. It's very affordable and it has a a large suite of tools embedded in it. So you have over 20, 30 different tools in there. And for the price that you are getting for this tool, it's just unbeatable. And I've been using Go High Level for some time now. So most of these things that I demo here come from Go High Level, even though I use other AI tools. But this specific one, we are going to build it in Go High Level. And so let's continue. What this AI does is that it instantly responds to emails, SMS, web chat. It could be anything. Instagram DMs, Facebook DMs, anything that any channel that you have connected to your CRM is going to get that chat from there, and it qualifies the leads automatically. So based on the rules that you've given to your prompt, or your AI agent knows. So it's not everybody who is going to get onto your calendar. So you want to make sure that you pre-qualify everybody who is coming into your funnel, right? Because you don't want to be talking to unqualified prospects. You don't want to be talking to anybody just anyhow, because time is money. So for instance, for me, I have two kind of ICPs. ICPs are ideal client profile. And for my first one, it's a B2B ICP, right? Business to business. And that's me helping IT companies with their lead acquisition engine or pipeline. And that means that I help them with Facebook ads and AI automation, and also automatic nurturing system. And when I'm talking to this kind of group, I know what I need to talk to them about. And it's the same way when I'm talking to my coaching student. There's also a way of talking to them. So you have to make sure that you know the ICP that you are talking to, so that you can set up all your qualifying questions. So for instance, for when it comes to my B2B or the IT service providers that I help, one of the questions that I ask them is a qualifying question, because the kind of service that we provide them, we want to make sure that they are making a minimum amount of revenue before we can work with them, right? And so if that customer or that lead is making, let's say, $200,000 a year, that is not qualified to work with us, because the kind of service that we want to provide to them for companies that are making, let's say, 1 million a year or 2 million a year. So that kind of weed them out of my pipeline, right? I don't want to talk to clients like that. The same way you have to set up things like that, so that you are only talking to qualified people. If somebody is saying that they want to solve their problem in 2 years' time, that means they are not ready. If somebody is going to answer a question that they want to solve their problem within the next week or two, or now, then you know that these are all pre-qualifying questions. Sorry, I got too much on this part, but it's really, really important, because these are the things that you do to really weed out unqualified prospects, and it answers questions in real time, and it books appointment directly on your calendar. And so this is very, very important, because you want them to be getting answers, and also you want them to be getting on your calendar. That is the main goal. I mean, you can have different goals for your bot, right? Maybe want them to take an email address, or maybe a phone number. For this particular demo, the ultimate goal is to book an appointment on my calendar. So that is what we are going to do. Let's move on. So what we are going to go through for this demo is that, we are going to build this AI. So this is what we are going to do today. First of all, we are going to set up the agent by naming it and giving it all its characters. And then we're going to train it a little bit with information that we want it to know. And then we're also going to set the bot goals, what we want it to accomplish at the end of the day. And then we are going to test it once we've provided it with all this information. And then we will go live with that and then see it working in real time. And so let's go back to my slides. And yeah, so a lead will come in, the AI will respond instantly, and the full conversation will start, and an appointment will be booked automatically on the calendar. And so let's see if we can do this, and this is going to work. Hopefully, everything is going to work out the way we want it to work. So let's start by going into that. So, yeah. Right. As usual, this is the favorite part, right? This is where we go into real time, getting our hands dirty. That is the main goal for these demos. We are not here to watch slides and just talk, but we get our hands dirty. This is where we take our time and go through step by step to see how this can be done for you. And this is really something that a lot of people are charging money just to, provide, and you are getting it for free. So please pay attention to this part. You can implement this in your account right away, and you can start utilizing this AI right away by taking up leads and booking them appointment on your calendar. So let's get into it. Now, if you are looking for Go High Level link so that you can test drive this in your own account for your business, for your clients, you can always check the link in the chat. Sandrine just put the link in the chat, and you can test drive Go High Level without your credit card for 14 days. Go High Level has so many different tools that you can use, and for $97 a month, you should be paying maybe between 1,500 to 2,000 a month just for the kind of the suite of tools that you can get in Go High Level. So it's a no-brainer. Every business needs it, and once you have one, you can even attach 3 different companies to it. So look into it and let me know what you think. Now, guys, if this is getting you are getting some value from this, please drop some ones or drop some ones in the chat. Let me know if this is valuable to you. So I'm gonna go straight into my account, my Go High Level account, and I'm going to demo this to you right away. So let's go. So first of all, as I said, we are going to set up the agent. And so I go into my Go High Level account. Once you get into your Go High Level account, what you want to do is that you want to be in your sub accounts, right? We have the agency view, and then we have the sub account. So I'm going to use my sub account because I want to create this in my Baykes Cloud, my agency account. I want to create a chatbot that will sit on my website. And as you can see here, this is Baykes Cloud website. This is the website that helps IT companies with their lead generation exercise. So here, this is my website. As you can see over here, there's no chat widget. So there's no AI agent talking to anybody here. What we are going to do is that once we finish building this AI agent, we are going to install the code here. So this chatbot is going to be here and talk to my potential leads when they land on this website. So let's go in here. What I'm looking for once I'm on my agency sub accounts. I pick my company. I just on the left navigation bar, I'm looking for AI agents, AI agent, and this is what I'm looking for. So I'm going to hit AI agent and I'm going to go into it. Now, when I come here, there are different things going on, getting started. So first of all, you have the voice agent and conversational AI, right? Now, this tool, one is for voice, as you can see, explicitly, saying it to us. And then we have the conversational, which is the chat, right? Go High Level calls this conversational AI, but it's the chat, right? And then so you have the Agent Studio, which I demoed last week. We're not going to go into Agent Studio. And then the Voice AI, which is the same as this. We are not going to go there. What we are interested is the conversational conversation AI, sorry, conversation AI, and this is where we set up the chat. So once you get here from agent, you just make sure that you are on the conversation AI, and here is where you create the agent, right? Once you come here, this is the dashboard, which shows you all the activities of a particular agent that you have. It shows you all the metrics within a specific time. And now, as you can see, it's empty because we don't have any active AI in there. Now, when you come here, you have the agent list. And here you see all the agents that you've already configured, right? This is one agent which I set up, but it's for a voice agent. We are not going to talk about that. This is the one that we are going to work on, and I call it the Baykes Cloud Site Agent. So usually I will start by creating a bot, but I just created this one. And so you go here and then you create. Now, once you get here, you have the guided from setup. This is for beginners. So if you don't know how to set it up, you go a step by step, but it's not the best, right? You want to, and the second option here is prompt based, which is you provide your own custom instructions, and then it helps you to go through the whole process. And this is more for advanced users. If you want to use a flow based builder, this is where you want to configure it. But for most of us, we want to be here because this gives you the best results, and it also is like 50% already done. So we want to create new bot, right? And so once we create a new bot, it gives us a couple of options. There are different canvases that you can use. General question and answer is here. If you want to use this template, or you can do this appointment booking. It's similar to what we are doing, but this is specifically for appointment booking. And any kind of template can be tweaked for anything. So it's not, but just in case you want out of the box appointment booking, this is what you use. And then marketplace template, if you are looking for people's templates in the marketplace you want to use, you can use something that somebody else has built already, or you can even build a template and put it in the marketplace and sell it as well. Or if you want to start from the scratch, from the beginning, doing everything. So, let's say you select appointment booking, and then you continue, and then you start giving your bot all the information that it needs. So here, for instance, you're going to name this, and let's say, we will name it demo AI chatbot. Okay, so this is the name we want to give it. And then here, what is the status of the bot, right? It's off, it's suggestive, and autopilot. We want to select autopilot. Suggestive is a kind of suggest things, but it's very complicated for it to do. So what you want to do is you put it on autopilot. When it's on autopilot, it uses the AI, and then the AI, because it knows everything from your knowledge base, is going to use this to respond to your lead, whatever conversation that you are having. And then which channels do you want for this bot to be talking, right? You want it to be in your SMS when you send people SMS messages, you want it to be in your Instagram DMs so that when somebody responds to your DMs, this is going to start talking and having a conversation with them. You can use a Facebook as well and charge with it widget on your website. You can do a live chat and WhatsApp. I mean, the channels are, you have about six or seven, and they are going to add an email to this as well. Now they have an email, so you can add an email. So whenever somebody contacts you, this chat can get activated and it will start talking to them. I'm going to remove this email for now, and you can add email if you want. So let me just add it just to make sure that this is great. And so here, we are still setting up the bot, right? And over here, configure email setting. I'm not going to do that. And then here, we want to put the business name. So the business name, because this is always going to be um, something that the clients or the leads will see. So Baykes Consultant LLC, that is the name of the business, and also the autopilot mode. Configure settings for autopilot mode based on your business needs. So when that AI when somebody asks the AI question, how long do you want it to wait before it answers, right? Usually, 2 seconds. We want it to be, we want it to flow just like a human would take. And so, usually, what works based on a lot of testing and tweaking, it takes between 8 to 10 seconds. So we will do this for, let's say, 10 seconds. And also, what is the maximum number about concern in a conversation? Some people will just come and mess up your bot and just, mess with it for so long, right? And so every time that there is a conversation, tokens are being consumed, and this can really get out of hand very quickly. So you want to make sure that you set it within a range that it makes sure that within that kind of the maximum number of conversation, it will be able to book that appointment, whatever the goal of the AI is, right? So I'm going to leave this around maybe around 12 chats. So I don't want it to go beyond that. And also allow this chatbot to respond to images. This is very, very important, guys. When somebody take a screenshot and send it to your chat, you want your chat to be able to read that image and be able to respond. It could be, if you are a plumber, it could be somebody's leakage, right? They took a photo and then they send it to you, and they are asking you if you can fix it for them. So this helps with people who cannot really explain things. They can take a screenshot of the problem that they have and they can send it to you. Now if you are having an error with, and you are chatting with ChatGPT or Claude, you can take a screenshot of your error and paste it in there, and it can really read that. The same thing applies here. And also voice notes. You want it to be able to transcribe voice notes so that it knows. Not a lot of people will always type, right? Somebody is driving or they are busy doing something. They just want to send a voice note. And if you don't have this turned on, you are going to miss a lot of stuff, a lot of conversation. Because one thing I realized is that I was getting a lot of messages from, SMS with voice notes and all that. And just because of the fact that you didn't have this thing turned on means that you're going to lose that conversation. So this helps to transcribe that audio and then make sure that you can listen to whatever the client or the lead is trying to convey to you. Send bot to sleep when I send a message manually or through a workflow. So this is telling the bot to stop conversation once you respond. And sometimes this is good because Otherwise, the automation might get out of hand, or it might be talking to something that you've already discussed with the client. And so you can turn this one off the moment you start conversation with that prospect. You want it to stop, and then you want it to reactivate just in case it finds the need to do so. So I will leave it at 2 hours. After 2 hours, if there's nothing, then it can continue talking to that prospect if need be. Response settings, other options to customize the bot. Right here, you want to enable response style. Yes, I like it in a balanced way. If you want it to be detailed, you can do that. You want it to be concise, you can do that. I will leave it at the balance. The pricing keeps on changing, so you want to make sure that you see. And if you want to get unlimited AI employee credit, you can go here. I'm not going to go into that. We are not dealing with the price. So now we finish with the bot setting, right? This is the bot settings. We give it a name and we give it whatever that we want it to do. And let's say I'm going to name this demo Bix Cloud. Bix Cloud. No, I'll just leave it because I already have one already. So this is AI chatbot demo. Let me so that I know demo, and then I save it. So the second thing we want to do, let's check the map. Okay, so now we are going to train our bot, right? So here we have the bot training. We come here, and the bot training is pretty much giving your bot, with the knowledge base, the database, the information you want this to feed, you want the AI to feed from, right? So let's say that you have a company and you want your chatbot to be answering questions on your website, then you have to feed it with all the business information. Guys, this is very, very important here, and you want to make sure that the AI is garbage in, garbage out, right? So the information you give to the AI, this is the information it's going to give to any potential lead or potential customer that comes in on your website with questions that it has. So let's go back here, and I did already a couple of them, and let me go to the um, AI studio agent list, and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. So let's go here. AI agent, and then conversational AI agent list. So here, I'm gonna go to, I was working on this one, but this is way more done. So I want us to focus on this one so that we don't waste too much time. So as you can see, I selected all the channels that I want this but to sit and talk to my potential clients. So I'm going to insert this into SMS conversations, into live chat, chat widget, SMS, Facebook, WhatsApp, and I can add email. Like I said, I'm going to add email, and then I save it. Everything else is the same. Well, I turn these guys on. I put this one on 12, and then this was 10 seconds. Let me do 8 seconds here. And yeah, I'm going to, yeah, and then enable this. So basically it's the same thing, right? It's the same thing that we did over there. I'm going to save this, and then we go to the bot training. Now, if you go to the bot training, this is where we talk about the knowledge base. And the knowledge base is simply the database. And for this, we are going to add, let's say, create a new knowledge base, or add a new knowledge base here. We have create. See here, we have the knowledge base here. So here, this is where we create the knowledge base, right? You can create it from here. but I'm going to create it from here. I prefer it here because it's going to make it very easy for you to understand if we create it here. So if we go here, create knowledge base, and it wants you to name the knowledge base. So I will say that this is, let me go into my here, and then um, I'm going to put in, this is the knowledge base I have here, and I will show you why. I will show you couple of things that you need to do. Yes, this is the knowledge base that I have. So I'm going to copy all this thing here. And this knowledge base is literally everything about my company. It knows everything about my offer, about whether I give refunds, how long it takes, everything that I need to give to this AI or this chatbot. People are asking, all the answers are here. And I have this prompt. I'm going to provide this prompt in the description below so that you can download it and tweak it and make it yours for your company, your niche, or whatever it is. I'm just going to make sure that I will have some placeholders where you can insert your niche and you can insert your business address, all those things that your business needs to know. So now I've copied this knowledge base and I'm going to create a new knowledge base. So this is going to be Baykes Cloud. Um, let's say offer um, info and demo, because I'm going to delete this anyway, but I want you to see what I'm talking about. Excuse me. And I can add, just info for demo, just make anything up, and then I add it. Now, once you add it, you put the name, it's going to ask you where do you want to pick this information from, right? Whether it's going to be a web crawler where you provide it with a URL of a website, or whether it's going to be an FAQ where you add your own FAQs, or whether it's a table or a graph, whatever you want to upload. You can also upload files, images, anything about your business. And the best one that you want to use is the rich text, right? The rich text is very good because it reads it right away as a text, and this is really fast. You can also use the URL, but every time that it has to go use the URL, it goes in there and it kind of download the page, and it takes time, right? And so the rich text is what you want to use. And so if you can copy things from your website, you can always use that. And here I'm going to use this to name this knowledge based, or this file, right? Because you want to be able to know what kind of knowledge base you have. You want to get organized, and so you want to make sure that you are keeping everything labeled and named so that anytime you are looking for it, you can find it easily. And if I go here, it's going to show me all the information that I have from different knowledge base sources, right? So like FAQs, web crawler, that is the URL. I can add the URL. So let's say if I want to use web crawler, that is if I wanted to scrape my website, I just copy the URL and then I come here. I say, my knowledge base web crawler, put in my website, and then I add it in here. So now it knows that it has to fetch information from here as well. But that is the knowledge base. We can add any knowledge base that we have over here. Now, if we go to, uh, for instance, this knowledge base here, that I already have, if I go into here and I say edit, I can edit it if I want to, and I can check which um, knowledge base it is. Let's see here. Okay. All right. So let me go here. Go back to agents, conversational agent, agent list, and go to Baykes agent, and then bot training. So now we have the website, we have the bot goals. Let's see here, bot training. Um, all right. Now, the next thing we are going to do is to go to the bot training. So let's go back to our demo agent, and the one that we've been working on. This is the AI chat. Today is the 15th. So we go to this one here. And so we go to the bot training. We already have our knowledge base in there. Let's add here. Now, once we added the knowledge base, we have them under drop down here so we can pick which ones we want. So this is the one that we just created. I can add another one, existing knowledge base or base cloud website offer information. I'm going to put the website offer information. So I can add as many knowledge bases as I want depending on what I want the bot to say, right? And so I go down here and I also have FAQs that I have. I can add those FAQs as well, but I'm not going to do that right now. I have FAQs as sources that I can add, but I'm not going to add that as I said. So now we are going to the bot goals. Cancel. Okay, let's save it. And then let's go to the bot goals. Here is where we want to give the bot its goals, right? Here we can select the chat model, the LM model that we want to use, whether chat GPT 4.1, 4.1 mini, 5, 5.1 mini, so we can say that, okay, let's use chat GPT 1.5. It all depends on how much tokens it's going to take as well. So if you are picking the one that is higher, it's going to take you, charge you more money. And so here, the chat personality and all that kind of stuff, you also have to tweak this for your particular niche. And I've already done that. I'm also going to provide this prompt in the description below so you can also copy it and make it yours. But now if I go to my script, I have it here and I'm just going to copy all of that and then I'll paste that. So the bot personality, as you can see, you are a conversational AI assistant for Baykes Cloud Consultant. Your role is to engage website visitors in a natural, confident, and helpful way. You are not a generic support bot. You guide business owners, decision makers towards clarity on their client acquisition. Your tone, right? So these are things that we specify for our bot to make sure that it follows. So this is the personality. If you remember what we talked about when it comes to generating prompt, you always want to make sure that your prompt has a persona, the action is going to perform and all those kind of stuff. So we also have to let it know what it needs. So let's give it a personality, right? So I come here and in the personality space, I'm going to put this thing there. So now we've given it a personality. Let's go back to our thing and then see the goal. The goal here, your primary goal is to qualify visitors and guide them to book a strategy call. That is the main goal. It doesn't matter how many people trick this agent, is still going to make sure that it gets them on it gets them onto my calendar. So this is the primary goal. So the primary goal is that we need to make sure that we can, yeah. So here, this is where we put the primary goal, your goal, and let's see. So this is its goal, and then the last one we want to do is the additional information. And we want to make sure that it keeps all these things here. We are giving it more information, what not to do. These are all the guardrails and things that we don't want it to do, right? Let's see here, and I'm going to show you some of them. And these are like, let's say, for instance, if they say that, let me copy this first. If they say that, if they say yes, perfect, here's a link to grab a time that works for you, right? So here I'm supposed to provide them with a calendar link, right? So I will provide them with a calendar link here. But just in case they tell you that give me your calendar link, we can provide that if we have to book the appointment for them. So these are all the guardrails, the constraints, and things that we don't want it to say and things we want it to say. So this is how you set your constraints. And let's put this additional information into here, and then boom. So now we have everything. Now this is another important thing that we want to make sure. Now the appointment here is where we set the actions, because remember, we are still on the bot goals. So what do we want it to achieve? We want it to book an appointment, maybe trigger a workflow, maybe update the contact information, maybe we want to start the bot once it finishes, maybe we want to hand over to another employee, or maybe another bot, right? Another agent for it to pick up and start working on something else. And then we want to add auto follow up. So let's see. This is the most important part of this part. Guys, if this is really, giving you some value and this is making some sense, something that you can use in your business, please drop me some tools. Let me see. Drop me some tools. Let me know if this is valuable. So the first thing we want to do here, after filling all the information, the personality, the goal, and the additional information, is we want to book an appointment. This is the most important thing that we want, right? So here, if we select book an appointment, it's asking us, what kind of appointment do we want to book? Which calendars? So I have different calendars over here, and all these calendars are different. They do different things, and so I want to book this one as an AI appointment, right? I can schedule this as a discovery appointment funnel. And this is what I usually do to talk to my customers the first time they come in. So here I'm going to say that this is a discovery appointment. So I've selected my calendar, and so this is the calendar that is going to book to us, right? And then here, don't book appointment, only send the booking link. So I can either send the link, it depends on your niche, and it doesn't work for everybody, but you can say that, okay, I want to send them the link so that they can book it themselves, or I want to book it for them. So don't book appointment, only send the booking link. If you want that, then you select that. I don't want that. I prefer to book it for them. So I'm not going to change that. I'm not going to that. Allow bot to cancel the appointment. Also allow bot to reschedule, just in case the person say that they want to reschedule, you want it to be done for them. Also pause the bot responses after booking, and so once they book, you want to wait how many days? Maybe 1 day. Otherwise, it's going to continue to have this chat all the time, right? And so you want to make sure that it's not talking to them after that. So I will leave it after 2 days. Trigger workflow after booking. Do I want to trigger a workflow after booking them? Yes, I want to trigger a workflow. And then I can select a workflow that I want them to really get inserted into, right? And I have different um, workflows. So let's say, for instance, book an appointment, nurture automation. This is where I want them to be. So the moment they book an appointment, all this workflow is going to kick in, send them the reminders, the email confirmation, and then it will start sending them reminders and all that kind of stuff. So this is really important, right? And then I put them in here, and all and I can even decide to transfer them to another person if I want to. So I'm going to save over here, and then do I want to trigger a workflow, which I could have done over here? Yes, maybe I want to trigger a workflow, and like I said, this is the workflow I want to trigger. We have to be very careful here because sometimes you select the same trigger, the same workflow, once or two places. They both of them might all fire at the same time, and it's going to be spammy to your client. So you want to make sure, since I selected it in the previous step, I'm not going to select it here because it's going to be the same thing. It's going to do the same thing. Contact info. What do I want to update? Maybe they are giving me a new information which doesn't come with them. What do I want to update? Maybe I want to update their email information, company email information or business, whatever it is. I can state that over here. For here, let me see what I can do for this. Right. I will leave this for a blank for now. I can say that okay, I want their maybe website, right? And then that's it. What do you want to update? That is where the contact field. This is where we should have. So company email, and then I will say email here. All right. So customer contact contact email address. Yeah. All right. So I'm just using this as an example, just in case, I want to update, and then that is the field, that is what I want them to put. Yeah, I'm not going to stress this too much because it's not really that important. But yes, they provide AI employment. All right. Yeah, AI. I'm just going to copy the same thing and put it there. And then, just um, and then add another one, and then let me put this. uh, so let's assume that it's going to do two things. I'm going to close this anyway. So now we've saved this. All right, so now, and then maybe we want to hand it over to a human being. So we want to enable this as well, right? Let's say we want to human requested. If the AI says that, hey, I want to speak with a human being or something like that, then this is where it gets transferred to someone like me, right? So I want to talk to a manager, or I want to, we can add so many, where is Eric? Once people ask this kind of questions, when there's a keyword in there, it's going to give me a supervisor. So this kind of words will trigger it to send it to the user. So here we can assign it to Sandrine or to me. So we are going to assign this to Sandrine just in case we get a lead like that, and at the after the appointment is assigned, once they book the appointment, this call is going to be the call is going to be assigned to Sandrine, right? This is how you can assign things, and then the message you want them to receive, and the activate. But after that, 8 hours, if you want, you can make it 6 hours. And the tasks that is going to hand over to a human being, and maybe after that, you want to tag them, you want to identify them, and this is the tag that you want to use. Or you can create a new tag if you want. So maybe assigned to, we can add another assigned to, let's say, Sandrine, right? So that we know that this client or this lead was assigned to Sandrine. Now I'm not going to do this right now because once I do it, it's going to create it. So I'm not going to create this contact tag, but you can create whatever you want. So once this is done, next time I see this lead, I will know that, oh, this was assigned to Sandrine, and Sandrine was the person who picked up the call or had the Zoom meeting with them. Okay. And so now we save this, and let's see, we also want to transfer it to a bot if we want. Let's say there's another bot that maybe will call them, right? Maybe 2 days before they come to the meeting, we can transfer this workflow into this part that will call them after that condition is met. And then we want to do automatic follow up, right? Auto follow up. So contact stop, right? We want to stop this once the contact stop replying. This is the auto follow up. This is like the juicy part of this whole demo. So, guys, pay attention here right now. This is where, once people stop responding to you, follow up, we've been told that follow up brings in about 50 to 60% of your closing, right? We forget to follow up with people, and sometimes people are just busy. When people forget about you, it's not personal. They have busy family stuff going on, they have other important things in their life going on. So sometimes they just get carried away, and they move on to the next thing in their lives, and it has nothing to do with you. It's not personal. So this is the most important part that you don't want to miss. You want to make sure that if they stop conversation with you or they stop responding after 15 minutes, you want to send them an AI message, right? And the AI is intelligent to know where you guys left off from, and it will pick up from there. And then maybe you want to send another one. Maybe you send it another 15 minutes, they don't respond. Maybe you want to do it maybe one day, right? You send them the second one day, they don't respond. You send them another one, you can add another follow up. I mean, I would do it up to maybe 5 follow-ups, maybe 15 minutes again, and then I'll add another one. And then maybe here I'm going to do 2 days. You don't want to be spamming them, but at least you are following up. You are following up with them. And this is all AI. The AI remembers wherever you sign, and you can even name, you can let's say I will do this for another 15 minutes. I follow them 2 days after. If they don't respond, 15 minutes, and I leave it there at 5 is just enough. And this will always make sure that you are always in chat, in conversation with them, to make sure that you get them on your calendar. That is the main goal of the AI. And here is the stop chat, right? You want to turn this thing on. This is also very important. The moment they say goodbye, whenever the contact say goodbye or similar phases, we also want to respond, and then we can, reactivate the bot after 24 hours. This is the stop button. This is enough. The default setting is great, but if you want to add more, you can add more. So that is that. Now, boom, we have done this and we are completed. So now we have everything set up. If we come to, let's save first. And then now we've saved everything. We come to the dashboard. The dashboard is empty because we haven't done anything yet. But once we start getting information, we start having chats and conversations, this is going to be populated and give us all the information that we need. So now your chatbot is set up. If you come here, you can test your bot. So here we want to test the bot, and this is very important, guys. Every time, on the bot training tab or the bot goals tab, and even on the bot setting tab, no, on the bot training tab and on the bot goal tab, you have the option to test your bot, right? And this is very important because if you don't test it, you don't know what it's doing. So first of all, you want to make sure that your bot is working and it's going to work when it's active out there. So let's start by asking it a question. Hello. And then we see, and every time that you ask it a question, if it gets it right, you want to make sure you give it thumbs up, and if it gets it wrong, you give it a thumbs down, so that it knows that it's making it's giving you the right information. So hi there, quick question: are you getting consistent inbound leads for your business right now? Oh, it is a bit hit and miss, right? I would say that hit and miss, right? Hit and miss. Now, because I like this question that it asks, I'm going to give it a thumbs up so that I know that it got, and you see here, feedback received, which means that the answer is right. So now I'm going to respond to it, hit and miss, and then let's see what it's going to say. All right. So got it. That's pretty common. What kind of business are you running? And here I can say that, I am a plumber, right? Because we are dealing with IT companies. So I'm not sure if I put in those guardrails there, but let's see if it's going to catch me on this one. I am a plumber. And if I am a plumber, this is not supposed to, approve me. It's not supposed to take me on to the next phase. But let's see. I didn't check if I put in the guardrails, but let's see what's gonna happen. So I'm a plumber. Let's see if he's going to catch it and tell it that this is not good for you. So this is also to show you how testing is done, right? Okay, so thanks for sharing that. How are you currently getting most of your clients? Referrals, ads, words, word of mouth or something. So here, guys, I did this intentionally, right? So here the pre-qualification didn't work. It didn't catch that because I only want to talk to IT companies. And so now that it's still moving on, asking me questions about what kind of, it's not supposed to do that. It has to pre-qualify me first before it asks me all these questions. So here I'm going to hit no. I don't like this answer. Right there, it asks me, okay, what answer do I want to provide? Or is there a knowledge base that he needs to pick this information from, right? So this is how you test your knowledge base. If that information is not good, you give it a thumbs down, and then you make sure that you provide that information. So guys, this is really, really important. You always want to test your AI. You always want to test it and make sure that all your answers are in there. If it's not, then you add it to it. So this was done on purpose so that you will know how to train the AI when it doesn't give the answer that you want. Okay, now we can continue to test this and give it thumbs up or thumbs down depending on the answers that it provides. And let's see, say, can you please book an appointment for me? And let's see what's going to say. And remember, we set this at 10 seconds, right? It has to respond 10 seconds. So that's why. So here are some of the available slots for strategy times. And it's saying Thursday. I wish we could open this and so you can see it a bit bigger. Um, All right. It checked my calendar and it had some free slots and it says 16th 11 a.m. and also 16th 12 p.m. And 16th 3 p.m. So it kind of gave three different slots on my calendar, and if I want, it's going to book it for me, but I'm not going to do it there. Let's do it somewhere else. So now that we've built our AI. We already have our AI. Here, if we go to conversational and we go to our agent, we see our AI bot, which is the chatbot demo, which we just created. And now, how do we find this chatbot? So we want to go to sites, and then we go to chat widgets. Once we go to chat widgets, we are going to see our chat widget. And here we have the base cloud chat widget, which is what we just created today. And this is it over here. And, the chat type, we want, live, we want SMS, we want voicemail, Facebook, and all that kind of stuff. What we want here is we are going to pick the get code over here, and this is the code for the chat, right? Whatever platform we want to use it, this is the platforms that we have over here. So this chat, if we want this chat to be active on all these chat platforms, then this is what we give it. We can add email if we want, as we said. We have chat email over here, and so I will just copy this code, right? And then once I copy this code here, I can drop it on my landing page, on my website, or my funnel, wherever I want this chat to live. Remember, you already have, for when it comes to the social media like the Facebook and the Instagram, you already have this integrated at the back end of your Go High Level. And so once you copy this, it knows where it's going to pick it from. But let's say if you want to post it on your website, let's say I want to post this on my website here. This chat widget is not here. It's sitting on my, it's not live yet on my website. So I want to put this on my website. What I'm going to do is that I copy this code and then I go to my sites. Okay, let me go to sites. Um, I, I want to go to my site. Yes, I go to my sites over here, and then I'm gonna go to my website. I'm looking for my website because I want to put in that code in there. And if we should see what it was saying, all right, we copy the code. It says copy this code in the body or in the footer section of your website. So you have to paste this code in the body or the footer section of your website. And I'm going to show you how it is. So we copy this and then we go back to our website. Now, this is the website, right? I'm going to the website settings, and it says that drop it in the body code, right? In a website, we have the body code, we have the footer, and then we have the header. So this is the header code, this is the body code, and then there's a footer. This one doesn't have a footer. So when it talks about a footer, it's just talking about the body. So I'm going to post this in the body, right? It says the body or the footer. So now that I have this tracking code in there, I'm just going to save. Now, once I save this, this is sitting on the Baykes Cloud website. So it's supposed to show this chat widget on this website right now because this is active. So once I refresh this, this has to show that chat widget and I can start having a conversation with it right away. So let me refresh and see what we are going to get. So now, boom, right here. See here? Now we have the chat widget, right? And it says, hi there, have a question, chat with us, right? And so here it's giving me that option, and I can customize this image, this text if I want to. And, I have my logo here. You can add your logo, whatever. You can add a human being if you want. You can add your own face if you want. So now let me go in there and start talking to it. So what do I want to chat with it? Okay, I want to do maybe, live chat, right? So I'm going to pick what channel I want to use, whether I want chat via SMS or email. I'm going to choose which one. So I want to do a live chat, right? And then first of all, it wants to capture my name and my email. This is, guys, this is golden because before it talks to anybody, it captures their email, phone number, and email, their name, phone number, and email. This way you don't lose them. You can always follow up with them even if they don't engage anymore. So I just have to put in my name and in my information, and then I submit, and then boom, we start having that conversation. Give us a minute to assign you to the best person. It's just kind of taking that 10 seconds to process, and now it's going to ask me a question, and the name of my company, it's here. It makes it look professional. Hey, got it, Eric. If you need help with anything specific related to Baykes Cloud Consultant, just let me know what you are looking for. Okay, I want to book an appointment. I want to book an appointment. And so let's see if he's going to give me the options that it gave me when we started testing it in the back end, and then book an appointment, and so that we can check and see if this was able to book an appointment for me. Actually, I actually can help with booking appointment. If you need more info, our services or anything else, just let me know. Okay, so I'm not using the right agent, but you get the whole point. Let me see here. Let me go back and add widget. Let's see. Let me select this one. Okay, let me go here and book that. See. Agent. Then go to agent list. Mm, Test this one. Book an appointment. All right. Okay, so let's test this from here first, and then, all right, Thursday, 3 p.m. works. So let's see, Thursday, 3 p.m. works. You are all set for Thursday, 3 p.m. And so let's see Thursday, 3 p.m. Let's see on GoHighLevel if I have anything set up for Thursday, 3 p.m. 16th, yes. It just booked this appointment right now. Right now, it just booked this thing 13, 16 for 6 p.m. So as you can see over here, it just booked this appointment. And also, let me see if I have any notifications. And as you can see over here, live chat messages from Erica J. And it says that somebody just booked an appointment. So I can see this from here right away. Also, the lead that we got from that chat. So everything is happening right away. You know, the book that the the appointment has been booked. It sent an email. This is just a test, so you don't see all the information, but it sent the name, all the Zoom link, and all that kind of stuff. So we know that. And if I should go to my calendar, my Google Calendar, I am going to see it there as well that this has been scheduled. So if I see over here, I see that this has been scheduled and it says guaranteed 30 B2B clients and all that kind of stuff. So, guys, as you can see, we are able to use this to book an appointment and also to make us get things on our calendar. So, just to recap for what we've done today, we've been able to use Go High Level 24/7 live chat agent to book an appointment, and we did this by capturing every lead instantly. We are responding to them 24/7 without extra stuff, and we are increasing conversions by doing this. And also we can build a scalable business if we are able to hone on this advantage that we have in Go High Level. So, guys, if this was really valuable to you, let me know. Give me a shout in the chat. Also, if you have any questions, please drop them in the comment section below. If you want Go High Level, you are going to get that link in the chat. Sandrine, please drop that in the chat for them. And also, if you've been coming to this program, you know that we have an AI accelerator program, and we teach people, we give tech professionals the blueprint of how to start their own AI consulting businesses whilst they are still employed. So if you are interested, you can check out the website aifreedom.ericsbakes.com. Sandrine is going to drop the link as well for you. And if you are not sure whether you are AI ready or not, I also have a quiz which is really fun. You can test your AI skills to see whether you are up for AI, you are ready for AI or not. But I think this is something that everybody needs to be literate on. AI is the new way, and it's just like when the cell phone came. You have to be cell phone literate. Without that, you cannot really be competing with other people, and you want to make sure that you are up for the tax. AI is the new level, and we must all become AI literate. So thank you very much once again for your time. This went on more than expected, and thank you very much again for your time. Next week, Wednesday, 11 a.m. EST, 3 p.m. GMT, we are going to meet over here. And as usual, we are going to drop some good nuggets. And if this is your first time on this channel, please subscribe to our channel and also forward this to other business owners or some content creators, business owners who need to see this video. And if you are a business owner and you really want to implement this in your business, if you want to have a 24/7 chatbot, an agent that can book an appointment for you 24/7 to schedule appointments for you, and if you need more AI agent that do specific things in your business, please use the link, Eric. Coach Eric Baykes, Sandrine, please drop my link if somebody wants to work with me one on one or to discuss their business. I'll be happy to do so. And on